Hello, grade 5 students. This is Qatar History and Citizenship, 5th grade. So we'll begin with Unit 1, Lesson 1 about the Qatari and British relations. So at the end of the lesson, you will be able to explain the role that Al Thani's family played in unifying Qatar tribes and establishing or building the state of Qatar. So the concept that you will learn for this lesson would be the meaning of the word convention. And the value that we're supposed to learn would be appreciation of the role that Al Thani's family played in unifying or getting together the tribes of Qatar at the same time building or establishing the state of Qatar as we know it now. So let's begin with an introduction about the Qatari-British relations. At the beginning of 19th century, Britain has signed agreements with all sheikhs and rulers of the Gulf region to protect marine navigation security in the Arabian Gulf as well as protect Britain's interests in the region. State of Qatar was the last state that signed these agreements. So what does it mean? That in the 19th century, Britain has agreed with the rulers of the Arabian Gulf to help protect its marine territories, meaning the coastal areas and the seas close to each country, and also to protect its interests in the region. So the last state to sign that agreement was, of course, the state of Qatar. So now, we should know that the Ottoman forces withdrew from Qatar in 1915. They left Qatar during this year. So in order to protect its interests, Britain had authenticated or finalized its relations with Qatar by concluding many conventions. So we're going to learn about these conventions. But what is the meaning of the word convention to begin? So convention means a political or military agreement between two or more countries. So it's an agreement that they're going to help each other in times of need and that they're going to be allies, or there's a certain type of friendship that should be formed between these countries. So that's the meaning of the word convention. Now let's talk about the first convention. It happened during the 1916. So there were two parties to the convention. When you say parties, you mean groups. So the first group was the Qatar group, represented by Sheikh Abdullah bin Jassim Al Thani, who is then the ruling Emir of Qatar. And the second group was composed of Britain, that was represented by the British resident in the Arabian Gulf. So both of them signed an agreement that they're going to help each other and that they're going to protect each other's territories. Now, what are the reasons behind this convention? Why was the agreement made in the first place? It was because there was an increase in maritime piracy on the Qatari coast. So what is the meaning of the word piracy? Piracy is theft and robbery acts carried out by some sailors at sea. I know you're all familiar with your pirate stories, right? So pirates board their ships and they attack ships of merchants and other sailors, and they take away whatever goods they can find in there. So during that time, and even up to this time, it's an illegal practice. It is a wrong practice. So in order to protect its interests in the area, meaning in the Arabian Gulf, at the same time help Qatar in decreasing maritime piracy or theft at sea, okay, the convention was signed. Now, what were the results of the convention? What happened after the agreement of alliance was signed between the two countries? So there was security proliferation by eliminating maritime piracy in Qatari coasts. Okay, so there were less and less pirates because, of course, they were wary of the agreement between two strong countries, Britain and Qatar. So this illegal practice was stopped, right? And also the result was there was enough protection for Qatar against any invasion by the sea. So meaning no one dared attack Qatar by sea because they know that there's a strong alliance between these two countries. So now, as part of your enrichment or self-study, please answer this question. What do you think about the importance of that convention for Qatar? Now we're asking about your opinion right here. So you can state the reasons and the results of the convention. At the same time, put in your own opinions about whether you think this is a good deal and why it's a good deal between the two countries. And type your answers in the box as uploaded in e-learning, and you have to pass your output in schoolwork tab. Now, let's go to the second convention which happened in 1993 AD. So the parties or the groups of the convention were Qatar and Britain, Qatar being represented by, again, Sheikh Abdullah bin Jassim Al Thani, and Britain represented by the British resident in the Arabian Gulf. So this is already the second convention. Please take note. Now, what were the reasons behind signing the second convention? The first reason was that Qatar had a desire to protect its land borders. So in the first convention, Britain made a promise to help Qatar protect its maritime territories, meaning seas and oceans and the coastal areas, right? Now, there's an agreement also to protect the land borders of Qatar during the second convention. The second reason is that Britain was seeking the right to explore and excavate petroleum in Qatar. So it wanted to discover oil in the territories of Qatar. Now, what happened after the convention was signed? What were the results? So Britain gave a promise or an undertaking to protect Qatar against any attacks or any enemies um, through sea, land, or air. So it was an entire deal, okay, that it's going to send some help if ever there was some invasion that would happen in sea, land, or air in all of Qatar's territories. The second is the convention gave Britain a right to explore oil in Qatar. Now, as part of your enrichment and self-study, you need to answer the question, why did Britain desire to get a right to explore oil in Qatar? Why is oil such an important commodity that Britain was so interested in it? Okay, so please type your answer in the box. And again, upload the worksheet, which you can find in e-learning, upload it in schoolwork tab to be checked. Now let's go to our summary. Remember the Qatari-British relations. The first convention happened in 1916 AD, and the two parties or groups of the convention involved Qatar, represented by Sheikh Abdullah bin Jassim Al Thani, same as in the second convention that happened in 1935 AD. And the second party or the second group was that of Britain. They have sent their British resident or representative in the Arabian Gulf during that time. So what were the reasons behind the 1916 convention again? First is there was increased maritime piracy on the Qatari coast, and there was also the desire of Britain to protect its interests in the Arabian Gulf area. Now, the results of that convention or agreement was that security was proliferated by eliminating or removing maritime piracy in the coasts, and there was also the agreement to protect Qatar against any invasion that happens by sea. Now let's go to the reasons behind signing the 1935 convention. Qatar has expressed its desire to protect its land borders as well, and Britain sought the right to explore and excavate petroleum in Qatar. Now, because of the 1935 convention, Britain was able to give an undertaking so that it can protect Qatar against any attacks through land, sea, or air, and also Qatar in exchange gave Britain the right to explore oil. So that's it for lesson 1. I hope that you've learned a lot from this video, and for any questions that you might have, please directly message me in e-learning, and I'll do my very best to get back to you the soonest time possible. Thank you for listening and have a good day.